So good day everyone. My name is Monalyn Grace Bansil and I'll be talking about the Chapter 8 Determining Measurement Equivalence Across the Test Taker Population. So determining measurement equivalence across the test taker population, test developers often aspire to have their test become so popular that they will be translated into other languages and used in many places throughout the world. But how do they assure that their tests are tapping into the same construct, regardless of who in the world is responding to the test items? So, one tool to help ensure that the same construct is being measured, no matter what language the test has been translated into, is IRT. So, despite carefully translated test items, it sometimes happens to even though the words may be linguistically equivalent, members of different population, typically members of population other than the population for which the test was initially developed, may interpret the item differently. Phenomenon wherein an item functions differently in one group of test takers as compared to another group of test takers known to have the same or similar level of underlying trait. So, instrument containing such items may have reduced validity for between group comparisons because their scores may indicate a variety of attributes other than those the scale is intended to measure. So, next, um, in the process known as IDF or an IDF analysis, task developers scrutinize group by group item response curves, looking for what term IDF items. So, ano ba itong IDF items? So, IDF items are those items that respondents have different groups at the same level of the underlying trait, have different probabilities of endorsing of as a function of their group members. So, what is the use of DIF analysis? So, DIF analysis has been used to evaluate measurement equivalence in item content across groups that vary by culture, gender, and age. It has been used to explore differential item functioning as a function of different patterns of guessing on the part of members of different groups. So, yet another application of IDF has to do with evaluation of item ordering effects or the effects of different test administration procedures such as a paper and pencil test administration versus a computer administered test. So ang paper and pencil test, ito yung ito yung traditional na ginagawa, yung mag-answer sa mga test papers, ganon. While ang computer-administered testing, ito naman yung sa online, kagaya na lang sa online class natin, meron tayong mga yung sa, Google Forms. So, in developing the item banks, it is not a simply matter of collecting a large number of items. Typically, each of the items assembled as part of an item bank, whether taken from existing tests with appropriate permissions if necessary, or written especially for the item bank, have undergone rigorous qualitative and quantitative evaluation. So, as can be seen in the from figure 8 7, many item banking efforts begin with collection of appropriate items from existing instruments like instruments A, instrument B, instrument C. New items may also be written when existing measurements are either not available or do not top targeted aspects for the of the construct being measured. So all items available for use as well as new items created especially for the item bank constitute the item pool. So, yung item pool, dito naman manggagaling, ito yung source naman. Yung item pool, ito yung pinagbuo na new items, yung mga items from instrument A, items from instrument B, items from instrument C. The item poll is then evaluated by the content experts, potential respondents, and survey experts using a variety of qualitative and quantitative method. Individual items in an item poll may be evaluated by cognitive testing procedure whereby an interviewer conducts one-on-one interviews with respondents in an effort to identify any ambiguities associated with the items. So item polls may also be evaluated by group of respondents which allows for discussions of the clarity and relevance of each item. So among other item characteristics, the item that make the cut after such scrutiny constitute the preliminary item bank. So, pagkatapos na maipon yung mga items from instrument A, B, C, at saka yung mga new items, sa item polls, dito pwede siyang i-evaluate siya through content expert review, yung mga gina-review siya ng mga may alam talaga, group interviews, yung pagtatanong-tanong kung relevant ba siya or not. One-on-one interviews, ito naman yung one-on-one na itinatakil nyo kung okay ka ba sa ganito or not. Secondary data analysis, ito naman yung okay. Ambiguity association. Ito yung group of respondents na maaring mag-answers ng mga item na nasa item pool, yung mga possible questions or relevant ba siya. So, after nyan, kung ano yung mga matitirang items na matitira, mapupunta na siya sa preliminary item bank administered to large representative sample. The next step in creating item bank is the administration of all the questionnaire items to a large and representative sample of the target population. For ease in data analysis, group administration by computer is preferable. However, depending upon the content and method of administration required by the item, the questionnaire or portion of it may be administered individually using paper and pencil methods. After administration of the preliminary item bank in the entire sample of respondents, responses to the items are evaluated with regard to several variables such as validity, reliability, domain coverage, and differential. So item functioning or the final item bank will consist of a large set of items, all measuring a single domain or a single trait or ability. A test developer may then use the bank items to create one or more tests with a fixed number of items. For example, a teacher may create 2 different versions of a math test in order to minimize effort by test takers to cheat. So, ito yung merong set A, set B na mga exam. The item bank can also be used for purposes in computerized adaptive testing. So, ano itong computerized adaptive testing? When used within in CAT environment or the computerized adaptive testing, a test taker responds to an item may it automatically trigger which item is presented to the test taker next. A software has been programmed to present the item next that will be most informative with regard to the test taker's standing on the construct being measured. This programming is actually based on near continuous construction and analysis of IRT information curves. The process continues until the testing is terminated. Because of the CAT's widespread appeal, the technology is being increasingly applied to a wide array of tests. It also becoming available to many different platforms, ranging from the internet to handheld devices to computer assisted telephone interviewing. So from that um from from ano ba? From that mode of taking a test, marami na nag-increase na or nag nag-increase na ang pwedeng gamitan ng CATs. Parang it also become parang nagiging platform na siya from internet hanggang napunta na siya sa mga phones natin or sa mga devices hanggang napunta na siya sa mga computers. So, our survey of how tests are built has taken us from a test developers. First thoughts regarding what new test needs to be created all the way through the development of the large item bank. In reading this In reading about aspects of professional test development, it may have occurred to you that some parallel types of processes go into the development of less formal instructor device measures for in-class use. So that's all. Thank you.